got to accentuate the positive feeling, minus to negative, latch on to the affirmative, don't mess with Mr. In Between.
Hey everyone, it's Sammy. I'm going to continue my series of Hollywood blondes with Jean Harlow. She was the first ever Hollywood blonde. She unfortunately died really young at 26, I think it is, already in like 1937, so there isn't that many movies of her, not nearly as many as we should have. But she was the first platinum blonde, and she kind of inspired blondes decades and decades later, so I thought it would only be fair to include her in the series. Now, she was famous for a really kind of drawn-on dark lip like they had in the late 20s and early 30s, and then also a dark smoky eye and very drawn-on kind of eyebrows that continued quite low down. So I am going to recreate this look. I'm going to go and wash my face and we can get started. Okay, let's get started. So I've got my hair on little pin curls. I just curled my hair with curling tongs, and then as the curl was coming out, I just pinned all of the little curls around my head. So I'm going to take them off after the makeup is done. But so I'm going to do I guess a slightly modernized version, a slightly more wearable version. First of all, I'm not going to put on the terribly heavy kind of pancake foundation. I will put on quite a bit of powder to mattify my face. And also, I am not going to blank out my eyebrows. I will elongate them really long and try and round them out, but I'm not going to completely blank them out and draw them kind of halfway up my forehead. So essentially I'm going to start with a Giorgio Armani foundation, and this is Luminous Silk in a number 4. I'm just going to put a little bit on the back of my hand, and I'm just using my m.a.c 190 foundation brush. I'm just going to do my whole face. You can be quite generous with this. I am then going to buff it in using my m.a.c 130 brush. This is one of my all-time favorite brushes. I love this. And it gives foundation such a nice finish. Go around the nose really carefully. I'm going to conceal using the m.a.c Studio Sculpt concealer in an NC30, and also the m.a.c brush. This is the 194. I'm just going to conceal a few spots that I have. I'm then going to conceal under the eyes, and I'm using my Bobbi Brown under eye concealer in warm beige, and I'm also going to use my my m.a.c 224 brush to just really lightly conceal. As we want this look to be quite matte, I'm actually going to apply powder with a velvet puff, and I'm using my Prep and Prime powder, and I'm just going to put a little bit on my hand, so I just kind of get some out of the jar on my hand. Make sure your hands are super clean. Of course, make sure your hands are super clean before you start doing makeup in the first place, and just puff it around your hand kind of like that a little bit, and then start pressing it on. I'm kind of going in a rolling motion. The eyes are quite smoky in this look, and I'm going to be using mainly a Nars palette. This is called Brousse, and this is one of my favorite palettes ever. And it has kind of a very, well, it's a brown and a kind of an aubergine color, but the combination is not expected, but it's really, really nice together. And before I do that, I'm just going to put some m.a.c Paintpot Why am I showing you the black side? So MAC Paintpot in Groundwork was just a little bit darker than my skin tone. I'm just going to use my finger and I'm going to put it on kind of the moving part of my lid up to my crease. You don't need tons, this is just to intensify a little tiny bit. Then I'm going to take my MAC 252 brush and I'm going to apply the brown shade and I'm going to put that all over the lid. And I'm going to use my Bobbi Brown eye blender and I'm just going to blend out the edges really well. And I'll take a little bit of it, I'm just using the same brush and I'm going to put a little bit under the eye as well. I'm using the MAC 239 and I'm going to take the aubergine shade and I'm just going to apply that on the crease and then onto the lash line. I'm not trying to kind of wing my eyes out or anything. She didn't, well, it wasn't the era that eyes were more rounded than kind of winged out. I'll take that also under the eye a little bit. And I'll blend that again. I'm using the same Bobbi Brown brush. Then just under the eyebrows, I'm going to put a matte beigey color. I'm using Brule by MAC and it's just a really pretty kind of matte beigey, a little bit yellowy actually. I'm using the MAC 217 brush and I'm just going to brush it under the eyebrows. Now I'm going to line my eyes with Urban Decay 24/7 pencil in Rockstar and this is definitely one of my favorite pencils for kind of a really smudgy liner, but this lasts completely. Like the 24/7 is actually an accurate name. I'm going to take my MAC pencil brush and I'm just gonna smudge that out slightly. So then take your Shu Ueamura eyelash curlers or whichever eyelash curlers you happen to have and just curl your lashes. I'm going to apply a couple of coats of just black mascara. I'm using Great Lash by Maybeline. Even though this costs like almost nothing, it's still one of my favorite mascaras. And the packaging, the pink and green packaging actually, I love since I was little. Then we'll add fake lashes. These ones that I'm using are by a company called Paris Berlin, and it's a pro makeup store here in Paris, but I'm just going to take that out so you can see these. So they're fairly kind of natural fake lashes. So I'm going to pop these on and then we'll do the brows. So while the eyelash glue dries, I'm just going to do my brows. Now her brows were super slim and kind of drawn on and went in a completely kind of round half circle. I'm not going to cover my brows. I'm just going to kind of make this into, it's a homage more than an exact copy, and I want it to be wearable for a night out. I'm just going to draw my eyebrows in, but what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take them really, really far down. Much further than my eyebrows actually go. This is, by the way, sorry, this is the Shu Ueamura Hard 6 eye pencil. So essentially kind of like the end of the eyebrow goes really, really low down. I'm just going to do the inside of my waterline with, this is my Guerlain pencil and it's in Call Me Ivory. And this is just kind of to accentuate the roundness essentially of my eye and make them bright as well. I'm going to use some blusher. I'm not using tons, and make sure that the blusher that you use is matte, not too shimmery, because nothing really was shimmery back then. I'm using my m.a.c Melba, which is a really nice peachy shade, and I'm just using my m.a.c 116 brush. And don't put it exactly on the apple of your cheek, more kind of under your cheekbone. Then for the lips. Now her lips had a really distinct shape, so I am going to blank out my own lips. I'm using the m.a.c Lip Erase. If you don't have a lip erase product, you could just use your concealer to do this. I'm going to line my lips with a really dark lip pencil. This is called Night Moth, and it's kind of like it's a super deep, oh sorry, there is the other liner on it as well in my hand. So it's a super deep kind of plummy burgundy. And when you're lining your lips, kind of try and make your lips heart shaped so that it essentially does this. So you're going to make the bottom lip a little bit more pointy in the center and really accentuate the Cupid's bow. And also what I like to do is I like to pull up the liner just a little bit at each corner. So for my lip color, I'm going to use m.a.c Cyber, and it's a really, really dark purpley plum, but it's a satin, so you can kind of blend it to a lighter finish if you want to. Then blot your lips and also wipe your brush clean. And then I'm going to take a slightly browner shade. It's actually quite almost pure brown, and it's called, well, plummy brown. It's called Verve. It's by m.a.c as well. And I'm just going to apply that on top. So that's essentially the makeup done, and I'm going to undo my hair now. So just take all of the little clips out and brush through all of these. So this is the look. Essentially, it's kind of a dark smoky eye, dark lip look, and but when you team it up with a little bit of curl and some nice earrings, it's nowhere near as gothic as you kind of think it would be, and it's actually quite a cool look to go out at night with. And I hope you enjoyed the video. I really enjoyed doing this look. I think it's a really fun one to play around with, and if you like my channel, please subscribe, and if you have any requests of more vlogs that you'd like to see, please let me know, and I will try and fulfill them. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!